Hey guys, it's Paul and Jay, and then I'm gonna be talking about option to purchase agreements. What is it? So, in in how like if you're gonna buy a house, essentially like when you put in an offer, usually you'll get 7 to 10 days of an option period. You'll usually pay like 100, 150 bucks, where you can get out of if you put earnest money, you can get out of the deal, right? And keep your earnest money. For land investors, option to purchase agreements kind of work the same way, but instead of 7 to 10 days, a lot of investors will ask between 3 months to 6 months of putting that property under an option period. And what they basically do is um, they'll give like $100 for this privilege, and later on they might pick it up. So what they'll do is they'll market the lands in that process, and if they get a deal, they'll execute their option and pick up the property and sell it to their end user. Another like a go around. So there's like paperwork exclusively for options. Another go around is an easier way to do this that functions exactly the same way is basically just extend your contract. So if you have a contract, you just uh, instead of saying like, "Hey, I'm gonna close on it within 14 days or a month," you just say, "Hey, I'm gonna close on this property for 3 months to 6 months," and you just say, "Is that okay?" Like, I'm in the process of buying this other property, or um, uh, that's usually what I'd say. I'm always having like a different deal going on, so but if you don't have that, you would just say, yeah, like my money's tied up in like right now in a couple spots. Is it okay if I buy it in 3 to 6 months? And if they say yes, you just say okay. In the contract, you just put 6 months into the future. And when you have if you market it and you find a buyer, you purchase the property and you sell it. The thing with options and contracts is. Land investors and people say that there's equitable interest to it, and so it gives you the right to sell the property, but it's kind of like a gray line. And so you just kind of have to be aware, like you're kind of in the gray line. If they push back on it, uh, whatnot, some real estate commissions have been like, yes, you do, and then in other places, like, oh, that's like a no. And so like you, it kind of depends on the county. It depends on the real estate commission. It depends on the state. It's kind of a gray line. You could put in the contract that like it's you're going to market it to sell, so you can be upfront with people. um, you know but whichever way you do it, that's some land investors are doing. I've kind of found that it's pretty difficult to enforce an option agreement or a contract. There's been a couple of land investors that got a lawyer to basically force the contract issue, and they kind of relented, the seller. But I just think it's I've done it, but it's definitely not my preferable uh, style. I just prefer buying property just straight for cash, or just using a JV partner to pick it up, even using debt to pick it up. Because if you're buying it right, it's going to eventually sell. So that's kind of my mindset on it. Option to purchase, I think they have different agreements. So they have an SEC.gov one, and there's different ones out there. What I'll do if you don't just pick it up from a land course, is just use one of these images. Like go over here. They have different forms here, so pick up one of them, read it, pick it up, and then give it to a lawyer to just review. And then that way you have like a template that you could use for your option agreements. But like a simple go around that people like you know that functions the same exact way is if you have a purchase agreement, you just extend that contract line, and it really does function kind of the same way. So that's it. You're holding the property under paper, and you're leveraging that control to either save yourself some time to pick up the property, or to even market it, if you feel comfortable with that. So that's option to purchase agreements. If you're interested in land investing, it is how my wife and I were able to quit our jobs. If you are interested in it, check it out in the description below. This is an agreement. It's pretty basic, guys. Just by the way, it's just like you offer them some money. Some land investors like won't even offer money, and they'll just say, "Hey, I have the option to buy it," and then you just run with it. So that's it for options. Take care. Have a good one. If you like this video and others, please subscribe, like it. It helps us out with the YouTube algorithm. And I appreciate everyone that has been doing it. We've been getting an upward trajectory of subscribers and views and watch time. Thanks. Take care. Have a good one.